Sec 1 Chapter 5, 5.1c, Part 2. Now we're going to look at the same skills that we have learned previously. That is to solve equation involving brackets. Now the few main steps that we do are to apply the distributive law. That means we're going to expand the brackets, simplify the equation, and we're going to group the like terms onto different sides of the equation, and then we try to solve the equation. So now let's move on to these slightly harder questions in the next part of the notes. So you'll still be using chapter 5 of your chapter 5 part 1 of your notes, exercise 3 question E. So please look for the correct page and the following question. Taking a look at the following question, we have couple of terms in brackets and then go to 0. So what we're going to do first, we're going to expand the brackets first by applying the distributive law. So I will have negative 6 group of 2r plus 3 and subtract 4 groups of 5r minus 2. So negative 6 groups of 2r will give you negative 12. Negative 6 groups of 3 will give you negative 18. Subtract 4 groups of 5r, so subtract 20r. Subtract negative 4 groups of negative 2, so minus 4 minus 2, minus 4 times minus 2 will give you positive 8 equals to 0. Let's try to simplify these following terms together. So we're going to group them together first. Negative 12r with negative 20r. So that will give me a total of negative 32r. Then we have negative 18 plus 8 and simplifies to negative 10 is equals to 0. Now, negative 32r minus 10 equals to 0. What minus 10 will be equals to 0? So, in this case, I know that negative 32r is actually equals to 10. 10 minus 10 equals to 0, right? So, how do we actually end up with this step? Now we try to put our unknowns variables here on the left hand side, and I have my constant negative 10. So what I did is to shift it to the left hand side, right hand side, and this is a negative 10 is subtract 10. So when I go over to the right hand side, I will add a 10. So this is actually 0 plus 10. So now negative 32r is equals to 10. I'll try to get rid of my negative sign. I have 32r is equals to negative 10. Because I multiply by negative 1 to both sides. And 32 units of r is negative 10. So r will be equals to negative 10 over 32. Is this a simplified answer? Yeah, we need to simplify the answer. So we'll get negative 10 over 32 will be negative 5 over 60. Answer. Shall we try the next few questions again? Up next, question 3, exercise 3, question F. Now solve the following equation. What do you notice? I actually have a fraction on my left hand side with a numerator and a denominator, and on my right hand side I have a number 4. Now recall that we have done the basic cross multiplication questions before, so I'll change 4 to a fraction 4 over 1. When we do cross multiplication, the equal sign stays in the center. The denominator cross and multiply upwards. So cross and multiply up. So x minus 3 cross and multiply over to 4. We'll get 4 groups of x minus 3. And the denominator 1 cross and multiply over to 2. So cross 1 multiply to 2 will give you 2. Now we are stuck with an equation that has brackets. What should we do next? Well, we will expand. So I'm going to expand my brackets. I keep 2 the same. So this will become 4 groups of x, 4 times x. 4 groups of x and 4 groups of minus 3. So 4 times negative 3 will give you negative 12. Now, we are going to group them together. So we are going to group the constant terms together. 2 is over here, and this is negative 12. And I can have 4x to stay positively on my right hand side. So if 2 is originally on the left hand side, negative 12 needs to migrate over. So over here is subtract 12. So when we migrate over to the other side, we do the reverse operation. It will be plus 12. And we'll get 14 equals to 4x. 4 units of x is 14. What is 1 unit? Well, take 14 over 4. Is this the final answer? No. So what's going to be the final answer? Let's simplify these, and I got 7 over 2. And that's the answer. Let's do a quick overview of what we have done. The steps involved are, number 1, cross multiplication. Since we have fractions on both sides. Then after that, we expand. And then we group the like terms together. We simplify and find the answers. Now let's apply these skills to the next few questions. Exercise 3, question G. Now let's take a look at our question. We have a fraction over on our left hand side, which is 3y minus 2 over y plus 1. But on our right hand side, I have a mixed number. So what we're going to do, we're going to change this over to improper fraction so that I can have just a numerator and a denominator. Now I have fractions on both sides of the equation. What skill can I apply? Well, we can do a cross multiplication. Remember, the denominator cross and multiply over to the numerator. Denominator cross and multiply over to the numerator. Equal sign stays in the center. So y plus 1 cross and multiply over. So I'll get 3 times of y plus 1. 3 groups of y plus 1. And the denominator 2 cross and multiply over to 3y minus 2. So we'll have 2 times of 3y minus 2. Up next, what should we do? We have brackets over here. So we should expand. So I will have 2 groups of 3y minus 2. 2 groups of 3y will be 6y. 2 groups of minus 2 will be negative 4. To be equals to 3 groups of y plus 1. 3 groups of y, 3y. 3 groups of plus 1. So 3 plus 1, 3 times 1, 3. Now, let's take a look at our terms. We have 6y and 3y. We should try to group all the like terms together. In this case, I'll keep my y over on the left hand side, 6y. And I will want the term 3y to migrate over. How is 3y going to migrate over? This is 3y added to the number 3. So in this case, I'll undo the operation and I'll get a minus 3y. I'll subtract 3y. The number over here, the constant term, is 3. And the constant term over this side is negative 4. So I will now shift -4 over to this side. It needs to migrate over. How do I get rid of -4? We'll do the reverse. It will become +4. Now let us simplify our equation. 3y will be equals to 7. 3 units of y is equals to 7. So 1 unit of y is equals to 7 divided by 3. And that's the final answer. Okay, let's do a little bit more practice to find out the answers for the next few questions. Exercise 3, question H. Now we have perfectly fractions on both sides of the equation. Would you like to try to find out the answers first? Have you gotten the answer? Congratulations on coming to the end of this part of the chapter. Now, let us recall the skills that we have used. Number 1, we can solve equations involving brackets by doing the following steps. Number 1, expand, so applying the distributive law. 2, simplify the expressions, and to group and move the like terms and constant terms over to different sides of the equation and to try to solve the equation. So now take a little bit of time to turn back your notes back to the first page, and you will see this following success criteria and try to work out the following questions to summarize your learning. Have a nice day.